Yeah, same issue. So what we're going to have to do is I have all those tools for token efficiency savings. I need you to go through every single one of those tools to make sure that they're working as intended. If you have any questions, let me know. A lot of those are hand built by me. So get a good review of every single one of those tools on how they're actually working and how they extract the context and all the useless garbage out of there and a redundancy. You'll see it, you'll understand it if you read it. Um, I do have the token efficiency tools. I need to make sure they are working and they're being used today. And every single one of those tools also needs to be able to collect the data and how many tokens it's saving. And that's what needs to go into the token bar. So go ahead and spin up agents, inject the correct roles for each one for a full code review, and to start tracing where the disconnect is. And if there's any bugs in it, go ahead and have those listed, and let's get those fixed and worked on. This is going to be your main project today, and this is going to continue until this gets completed. So end-to-end research, code review, quality assurance, bug fixes, and if there's any miswiring, go and wire it. Hey, Alex, is what the hi? What the product? So the product is it's an ADE, agentic development environment, and it's so I can orchestrate my AI agents with a team of AI agents. So think of it like swarming, or these are sub agents for your director, and they'll communicate back and forth and talk to each other. So if there's any and you can change the role too. Like this is a writer, I want him to be a project manager. And that fast, he's now a project manager. It's in the roster here. You can see it down here. It updated to a project manager. And my director knows what he has on his team and what every single role is. And all these, they're all based on skill injections. So if you come in here and go to skills, let me close that out and close this out. Bring this up here. So depending on what type of agent you're using, whether it's open code, Gemini, any of these they all have skills built into them, like cybersecurity. So I have an incident triage here I can look at. Inside here will show me the actual skills that it's using that it gets injected with. Um, there's also template one, so the whole cybersecurity team. Here's all the skills that it takes for the cybersecurity. Debugging team. Here's all the skills it takes for debugging. So the team here knows their role. They understand what their main domain is, and they know how to execute the commands to get it done. Um, let's see here. Cold. I feel like you keep repeating yourself every X days. Have you thought about having a fixture test and golden test? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Hold on one second. That's funny because I just repeated myself again, but I don't mind repeating myself and explaining it. It keeps me talking. I know you guys probably get tired of hearing it, but the newcomers that come in, they're curious about what I'm building, um, and there's probably an easier way for me to relay that message to all the newcomers without having to. You guys have to hear the repeated stuff again, so I apologize for that. I'll look into finding out how I can do that, and we'll make it an easier interaction between my current users and the new users coming in. Um, they're agents for coding. Yeah, you could code. Yeah, it's for any type of software development you want to do, or research, or security testing. Let's just say you already have a website and it's a SaaS, right? I have one here to show you an example of what I mean. You got a website here. It's a SaaS, and but you don't know what it takes to do the security testing, like pen testing. So you could actually use my tool to do cybersecurity, or Red Hat, or I'm not Red Hat, the Red Team or Gray Hat team that can actually go through and analyze your entire code base, and the Gray Hat team will actually start doing pen testing on your website, and if you allow it to, or even your code base. It'll see if it can do any URL injection, if it can do any SQL injection, or getting any escalation privileges that it shouldn't have. If you have any leaked pages, that takes me places that I don't, that you're supposed to have permissions to. How to bypass that. If you don't know how to do any of that and understand what it takes to build that, my tool will be good for that because I have the skills that are in there for it to make that happen for you. So you could use it for that or software development, app development. So this is a website, and my tool here is a desktop application. And right now I have it built for Linux and Windows. I will have a Mac OS. It's coming soon. So yeah, that's what it's used for. Uh, cold fixture. Let's see. I mean, issues you keep facing with the app. Fixtures are tests where we test the input and testing the code. Golden is where we test the output, so the code gives an expected output. Oh, and I've never done that before. It's great. So we know that doing X uses X amount of tokens roughly, and we expect X amount of token savings, for example. Okay, I am going to copy what you said there. Boop. And I'm going to see if we can get um, one of my viewers suggested this, and I'm not sure exactly how to get this done. So if you could look into this and see if this is something we can implement. There we go. And then I will steer that conversation. All right. So for cybersecurity, do they have knowledge above what they get from the LLM? I mean, you give them additional skills and markdown files. So LLMs are trained on the entire internet, all the knowledge out there you can think of. They already have the information. Now, retrieving that information is a whole different story. That's why there's prompt engineers or people who are real good at prompting an engineer to steer the conversation or to be able to guide it into the domain it needs to. Because it's got such a vast variety of information. If I say I need this debugged, there's so much information up there in its mind to understand what debugging means, what would be the right skills for what. So when I give a certain role, I actually narrowed it down to that role, that skill injection. This is actually how you do this role. These are the tools you're going to need. These are the steps you need to take. So when you inject it into the LLM, it already has the information. Now you just gave it a path to use that information. Okay. I hope that helps. And if it's something that's like a lot of the trained data is over a year old, right? So GPT, Claude, all them, they're all their knowledge was a year ago, and there's been a lot of new things that's happened in a year. So they also have the ability to go online and do research to figure out what the newest vulnerabilities are, what the newest ways to do X, Y, Z. Um, if you point them in that direction, they'll gather the know-how for that context. Hey, whose channel's that? I am building a agentic development environment. It's a tool for running multiple AIs, and you have a director here that will direct um, your development process to his team. And each team or each team member has a certain role or a skill, a job role, and they have 100% communication back and forth between a director and a teammate. And like these two are coders here, this is an auditor, this is a researcher. And so whatever the director needs at that time, he'll send that relevant information to the uh, agent that can perform that task. Yeah, you get all that. Just curious to see how you are doing things. Oh, same. Yeah, that's how I'm doing it. Is skill injection. In fact, if I come over to here, whoa, hang on, something eating up my resources here. What is doing it here? That was a huge spike. That was strange. So something happened there. Yeah, you guys see that? Look at that disk write, memory. Even the Wi-Fi spiked around that time. Look at that. Something happened. Something big happened just now. Yeah, that was strange. Okay. So, all right. Sorry to stop there for you. Yeah. So back to what I was saying. So if I come here to Plyrium Forge, depending on the agent you have, agents is the MD files for Codex. Claude is for the MD files for Claude, and the rules also have a separate one here, Codex, but it's not needed. The agents is actually what uses it. And then open code. Of course, open code is a little bit different. They use JSON files, but these are all marked down here. And if I go to agents here, look at skills, these are all roles that they can do. And inside the roles, like a slice runner, here's the skill for it. If it's a cybersecurity, like we were talking about, here's oh, that's the director. Let me go back one. So cybersecurity. Here's the skills for the cybersecurity. So you got a threat modeler, a security review, so incident triage, and it's got skills built into it. And I'll open one up here to show you here. So here's the name, description, the workflow. It's a breakup down of the workflow. You got the output contract, the guardrails, and what the done criteria is. So each skill, most of them are short and simple, and it guides them in the basic direction on how to proceed and do its job. I'll be right back.